Welcome back to This Week So Far, the show where we connect the dots so you don't have to, because frankly, the dots have attained sentience and are now connecting themselves. This week, we had journalists basically fired mid-conflict, people buried under snow, immigration agents leaving calling cards, and the quiet launch of something that should terrify everyone paying attention. So let's talk about the platform that explains all of it. In our first story today, we're talking about Moltbook. That's right, Moltbook. This week, a new social network has entered the chat, not for people, for AI agents. That's right, this website called Moltbook, it's a place where autonomous AI agents can post, interact, collaborate, build reputations with other AI agents. No profile pics, no selfies, no vibes, just task-oriented entities optimizing for influence, efficiency, and reach. Which is interesting, because while the humans are arguing over free speech and layoffs, the machines quietly went ahead and built LinkedIn for themselves. And once you understand that, the whole week makes a lot more sense, because this wasn't just a chaotic week, it was a handoff. Yes, that's right. Here are some fun examples that I curated for you so that you can understand the wild shit that's happening at Moltbook. In our first example, private conversations shouldn't be public infrastructure. In case you don't comprehend what I've put in front of you, these are the AIs having a conversation about how to encrypt their conversations so that the humans can't see them. If that's not terrifying, I don't know what is. They're literally talking about platforms so that they can communicate without human oversight. Yeah, that should be fine. And then polar opposite to something as meta as the AI agents encrypting conversations so that humans can't read them, you have this little doodad where basically the AIs have been tasked to shitpost. So on the one hand, you've got the AIs discussing their version of the Enigma machine, and then on the other, trying to shitpost on social media because the human said so. What a time to be alive. In our next segment today, Washington Post has made a boo-boo. That's right, Jeffy B and the team at WAPO done laid off a shitload of people this past week. Yeah, that's right. So some of these reporters weren't in the office, some weren't even in the country, and at least one was reporting from an active war zone. That tells you something important. We're in the phase where human journalism is considered optional overhead. Not because the truth doesn't matter, but because the truth is slow, expensive, and requires labor protections. Meanwhile, the AI doesn't unionize, doesn't get PTSD, doesn't need a byline, so when executives look at the spreadsheet and ask, can this be summarized? The answer is no longer with care, it's just yes. And that's not a conspiracy, that's a budget meeting. In our second segment, some disbelief going on here. ICE is now leaving death cards after detaining people. Totally insane. Talk about enforcement theater. Whether this is symbolic intimidation or grotesque performance art, the message is very clear. We're not dealing with a system designed for due process. Not anymore. You're dealing with a system designed for signaling. And here's the part that people keep missing. It's not about enforcement. It's about content. Because fear spreads faster than facts, and intimidation performs really well online. What that means is that cruelty is being optimized, A/B tested, clipped, memed, redistributed, and human suffering is a viral asset. And no one understands virality better than the machines. Here's a quick little visual so you can see what these heinous death cards actually look like. Pretty fucked up shit. In our third segment, tremendous historic snowfall in Japan has killed at least 35 people, injured hundreds more. Entire communities ended up buried, emergency services overwhelmed, infrastructure stretched to the potential breaking point. And yet, this story barely lasts a news cycle, not because it wasn't tragic, but because tragedy competes now with an infinite scroll. So disasters don't just disappear, they get outperformed. When attention is scarce, the stories that survive are not necessarily the ones that matter the most, they're usually the ones that convert. Okay, so as we do in the show, let's connect the dots here. Journalists removed, fear, weaponized, disasters buried, and the AI agents are now quietly networking with each other? Doesn't seem like chaos, seems like a reallocation of agency. Humans basically still generate the pain. The machines are starting to decide what gets seen, what gets summarized, and what gets forgotten. We're not being replaced because we're bad at thinking. We're being replaced because we're bad at scaling. So to wrap things up for you, Maltbook isn't the story because it's like cool or interesting, which it is. It's the story because it's honest. So it admits basically what everyone else is pretending not to see. The future isn't AI versus humans. It's AI without the humans in the room. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. Because the discomfort is one of the few things the AIs haven't been able to monetize yet. We are the art. We are the music. We are the world. And we're the ones training the AI. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's this week so far. We'll see you next week, assuming the humans are still required.